So we saw how the Lord has been welcomed in the city of Dwarka, and we reached to verse number 21. Is there uh, now Lord reciprocates with those who welcome him in this section. So here it is said, Bhagwan Statra Bandhunam Puranaanagatyanam Yatha Vidi Upasangamya Sarvesam Adhade. Lord Krishna, the personality of God, approached them, offered due honor and respect to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens, and all other who came to receive and welcome him. So, so of course, those who are Lord offer his respect to all respect and obeisance to those who are elder to him. He hugged those who are equal to him, and he accepts their greetings those who are junior to him. So this proves that Lord Krishna is neither impersonal nor inert object, but is personal. He reciprocates with the devotees. Okay? So he reciprocates just as it is Bihu, which is different type of admirers and devotees. Of course, pure devotee are of one type only because they have no other object for service but the Lord, and therefore the Lord is also reciprocate with such a devotee just as it behoves, namely, is always attentive to all the matters of his pure devotees. There are others who designated him as impersonal, and so the Lord also does not take any personal interest in him. Those who consider that Lord is impersonal, so that Lord does not take personal interest in them. But those who consider Lord as a personal, Lord takes a personal interest in them. He satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of spiritual consciousness. An sample of such a reciprocation is exhibited here, which is different welcomers. This is Pravadanaslesa Paraspursasu Tekshane Aswasya Chasva Apka Kebhyo Varase Chabi Mater Vibhu. Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurance and awarding benediction even to the lowest in the rank. So there are different varieties of people in this uh, welcome, beginning from grades of population, beginning from Vasudev, Ugrasen, Dharmapuri. They were like father, grandfather, and teacher, down to the prostitute and chandalas who were accustomed to eat dogs. And every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. Just like if someone is elder, Lord offers his obeisance. If someone is junior, Lord accept their obeisance. As a pure living entity, all are the separated part and parcel of the Lord, and thus no one is alien by his eternal relation. Such a pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the mode of material nature. But the Lord is equally affectionate to all his part and parcel. So maybe living entities, because of their desire to separate the entity from Krishna, they have a different gradation of consciousness developed in them in terms of the relationship with the Krishna. Okay? So, so Lord greeted with them accordingly, but still they are part and parcel of Krishna, despite their material tradition. It descend only to, and if Lord doesn't reciprocate with them, then what is the purpose of Lord's coming? Lord specifically come here to recall this materialistic living being back to his kingdom. The Lord has to take them back to God, so definitely he has to reciprocate. But Lord, an individual person takes the advantage of this facility offered by the person of Godhead to all living beings. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God. It remains with the living beings to accept this or not. The Lord didn't reject it. Whoever came, including from prostitute, anyone came, Lord greeted them. So Lord does not reject anyone. But it is up to us that whether we want to accept it or not. Okay. So now in the monsoon, the rain falls, but it up to us. We want to expose ourselves when rain is falling. If we don't want to expose ourselves under the rain, then it's our choice. Do not get the advantage of the rain. Same way when Lord comes, then Lord's mercy is always flowing. But it's up to us whether we take advantage or not. Okay? That is what purport is mentioned. And Lord reciprocate with everyone. It's up to us whether we want to approach him or not. There is a Swayam cha Guru bir sadare sthavi rerapi Sirbhir Yujyamano Anyer Vandibhisya Visatpuram. Then Lord personally entered the city, accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid Brahmanas with their wives, all offering benediction and singing the glories of the Lord. Other also praised the glories of the Lord. Okay. Here it is said, the Brahmana in society were never attentive to banking money for future retirement. When they were old invalids, they used to approach with their wives the assembly of the king and simply by praising the glorious deed of God, glorious deed performed by the king, they would be provided with the necessities of life. Such a Brahmanas were not so to speak flatterer of the king, but the kings were actually glorified by their action, and they were sincerely still more encouraged in the pious action of by such a Brahmana. So these Brahmanas were not taking any salary, but they used to go in the assembly of the king, they glorify the activities of the king, and whenever required, they give suggestion. And by these things, they used to give an donate charity, and they survive that, they sustain their life. राजमार्गात ते कृष्णे द्वारकाया कुलस्त्रिया हर्म्यानि आरुरुर्विप्रा तदईक्षणा महोत्सव. When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roof of their palace just to have a look at the Lord. So, okay, now, so if you see, when Lord Krishna was leaving from the Hastinapur, all the ladies went on the rooftop to bid a farewell to Lord. And when Lord Krishna entered in Dwarka, the ladies of Dwarka also went top of the hill, sorry, top of the roof to welcome the Lord, greet the Lord. Okay, this custom was always there, okay? And they consider this to be the great festival. Okay. नित्यं निरीक्षमाणानां यदापि द्वारका कोकसां न वितृप्यन्ति दृशा श्रियोधामा Achyuta. So the inhabitant of Dwarka were regularly accustomed to look upon the reservoir of all beauty. So who is the Lord? Who is the reservoir of all beauty? Lord Krishna. Infallible Lord, yet they were never satiated. So it doesn't mean that they were of course their hankering was transcendental. Okay. So they want to see more the reservoir of all beauty again and on. That's why they went on they used to see the Krishna, they were not feeling satisfied. But it doesn't mean that they were lamenting at a Mujhe Mila nahi. Yeah, of course. He said, Sriyo Nivasa Yasyor Panapatra Mukhambrasa Baho Lokapalanam Saranganam Padambuja. The Lord's chest is the abode of the goddess of fortune. His moonlight face is the drinking vessel for the eyes, which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting place for the administrative demigods. His lotus feet are the refuge of the pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his philosophy. So, different parts of the Lord's are. activities of the different parts of bodily parts of the Lord are mentioned here. So chest is what? Award of the goddess of fortune. His face is everyone would like to see his face. Okay. His face is the vessels of for eyes which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting place for the administrative demigods. His lotus feet are the refuge for the pure devotees who never talk or sing for any other subject except his Lord's. So anyway, I'm not going in the purport. सीतापत्र व्यजनेर उपसंस्कृत रसुना वरसेर अभिवर्षित पथि संगवास वनमाल्य बभो ध्वनो यथा रूप चपविद्युत है. As the Lord passed along the public road of Dwarka, his head was protected from the sunshine by the white umbrella. So now how Lord was being carried inside, that is mentioned. The white feathered fan moved in the semicircle. Semicircle means, these way they move. Sowers of the flowers fell upon the road. His yellow garments and garlands of flowers made it appear as if a dark cloud was surrounded simultaneously by sun. Okay. Sun, moon, lightning, and rainbows. So, yeah, so description is given. प्रविष्टस्तु गृह पित्रो परिस्वक्ता मातृभिः ववन्दे शिरसा सत्ता देवकी प्रमुखा मुदा. After entering the house of his father, he was embraced by the mothers present. Mothers, there are so many mothers. And the Lord offered his obeisance unto them by placing his head at their feet. Okay. The mothers were headed by Devki, his real mother. So Devki has, I think, almost 8 sisters, right? Mm, so yeah, different mother. So Devki was the real mother, but in spite of this, all other stepmothers were equally affectionate to him, as will be evident from the following verses. Lord Krishna also did not distinguish his real mother from the stepmothers. He equally offered his obeisance unto all the wives of Vasudeva present on the occasion. So, according to the scripture, there are 7 mothers: the real mother, the wife of the spiritual master, the wife of Brahmana, the wife of the king, the cow, the nurse, earth. All of them are mothers. Even by this injection of father, the stepmother, who is the wife of father, is also as good as mother because the father is also one of the spiritual masters. These are different kind of mothers. This is Taha Putra अंकम आरोप्य स्नेहा स्मिता वयोधरा हर्ष विवलिता आत्मान श्रीचूर मित्र जेल चले. The mothers, after embracing their son, set him on their laps, and due to pure affection, milk sprang from their breast. It is said, mother's breast milk is the symptom sign of love. They were loving Krishna so much that although Krishna is so old, 100 years old, but still the milk from their breast was, flowing. That much love they had. They were overwhelmed with the delight, and tears from their eye waited the Lord. So when Lord Krishna was at Vrindavan, even the cows would become motion by affectionate towards him. He would draw milk from the nipples of every affectionate living being. So what to speak of stepmothers who were already as good as his own mother? You know, milk flows from the breast of mother is sign of love. अथा विशत्स्वभवनम सर्वकाम अनुत्तमम प्रसादा प्रासादा यत्र पत्नीनाम Sahasrani Sasodasha. So, after greeting his father and mother, now thereafter the Lord entered his palaces, entered his palaces, it's a plural, which were perfect to the fullest of action. His wives lived in them, and they numbered over 16,000. पत्नी प, पत, पत, पत्न्या पति प्रोष्यं गृहान् उपागतं विलोक्य सज्जातं मनो महोत्सवः उत्तस्फुरारात् सहसानाशयात् साकं व्रते वितलोचनानः. The queen of the Lord Krishna rejoiced within their mind to see their husband home after a long period abroad. The queens got up at once from their seats and from their seats and meditation. As was socially customary, they covered their face, silent look about coyly. So, this is Tama Atmachir Drushti Bhi Antaratmana Duranta Bhava Parire Patim Nirutam Api Asravat Ambu Netrayor Viljati Nam Bhruguvarya Vehicle Vata. The insuperable ecstasy was so strong that the twins who were shy first embraced the Lord in the innermost recess of the Raso. They didn't physically embrace the Lord, but in the heart they embraced. Then they embraced him visually, because they meditated that they are embracing. Then by seeing the embrace, then they send their sons to embracing. Then they send the son to embrace, which is equal to personal embrace because son is representative of father and mother. But oh, chief amongst the Bhrugu, though they try to restrain their feeling, they, in, they inadvertently shed tears. So, although due to feminine silence, there were many hindrances to embrace the dear husband, Lord Krishna. The queens performed that act by seeing him, by putting him in the core of the heart, by sending their sons to embrace him. Sometimes we have seen in the movie, someone they are loving each other. In dream, they feel that they are embracing like this. Okay. Still, the act remained unfinished, and tears rolled down their cheeks despite all endeavor to check them. Okay. One indirectly embraced the husband by sending the sons to embrace him because the son is developed as a part of mother's body. The embrace of the son is not exactly the embrace of the husband and wife from the sexual point of view, but the embrace is satisfaction from the affectionate point of view. So this is affectionate point of view, not that this is physical that sexual intercourse kind of. The embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relation. Thus, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, there is nothing wrong in the exchange of feeling between the husband and wife. This is यद्यापि असो पार्श्वगतो रहो गतस् तथापि तस्यांग्रे युगम नवम नवम पदे पदे काव्यमे तत्पदाच्च चलापि यस्सुरीना जहाति करहिचित. Although the Lord Krishna was constantly by their side as well as exclusively alone, his feet appeared to them to be newer and newer. Lord Krishna was constantly with them, but still, they are feeling every time new. But in the material world, what happened after a certain period of time, husband and wife they become, fed up from each other. And finally, what happened generally? Most of the cases they end up in divorce, right? But here, every 1 minute, huh? So we are discussing that, in the material world. In husband and wife relation, after some time they become fed up from each other. But in the case of Krishna, every time these wives are feeling new and new feelings, newer and newer. Okay, it appear to them newer and newer. The goddess of fortune, although by nature always restless in moving, could not keep the Lord's feet. It is said, Lakshmi बहुत चंचल होती है. Lakshmi is very chanchal. She can't rest at one place for a long time. But she doesn't leave the feet of the Lord. That is the resting place of the Lakshmi. Yes. But she, only Lord Krishna's feet can hold her. That's why she said, even the Lakshmi is so chanchal, doesn't stay at one place for a long time, but she always stays at the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. Then so what woman can be detached from those feet? Lakshmi is so much attached with the lotus feet of the Lord, then what to speak about other woman who can be detached from those feet, having once taken the shelter of them. They cannot give up. The last time we heard, right? If someone has heard of one Krishna even once, they don't want to give up hearing about him. So in that, when Krishna was leaving Hastinapur at that time, Pandavas were feeling so much separation. So here it's exactly written in different way about their wives. Okay, so एवं नृपाणां सिद्धिभारजन्मना अक्षोहिणी विपरिवृत्त तेजसां दायवेरं स्वसनं यथा नलं मिथो वधेनो परतो युद्ध. The Lord was specified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth, and they were puffed up with their military strength, their horse, elephant, chariot, infantry, etc. He himself was not a party in the fight. He simply created a hostility between the powerful administrator and they fought amongst themselves. It was like the wind which caused friction between the bamboos and so the spark of fire. So basically, Sri Goswami is saying that Lord Krishna didn't fought, but what he created, he just acted like a wind who created the friction between two bamboo trees. And when there is a friction, then fire will be generated. And that way, whole uh, forest will burn up. So similarly, those Kshatriya who were burdensome, to finish them, Lord Krishna didn't require to fight personally, but just he acted like a wind and he finished all useless, burdensome administrators. Says, "Sa esa naraloke asmin avtirna avtirna swamayaya reme stri ratna utasto bhagwan prakrutyo yatha." That supreme personality of God as Sri Krishna, out of his faultless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst the competent woman as if he were engaging in the mundane affairs. So, why Lord Krishna appeared? Paritranaya sadhana vinasaya dukkha, right? To give the pleasure to the devotees and to annihilate the non-devotees. So, and although that was the thing, one of the things, but he parallelly he came with his internal potency and enjoyed himself among the competent women as if he were engaging in the mundane affairs. So nice explanation is given. Better you read this purport. Okay. So, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, is very, very important. That is, Krishna says in the verse number 21 that Yad yada acharati shrestha tata te vitarajana sayat kaman vrita lokasta dhanuvastati. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all world pursue. That's why Lord Krishna says that Name Parsati Kartavyam Trisu Lokesu Kinchana Nana Vaptam Vaptam Varte Vaja Dharman. O son of Pruta, there is no work prescribed for me within all this planetary system, all three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I need of to obtain anything, yet I am engaged in the physical duties. Krishna says, I don't require anything. That's why when the Raslila pastime was happening, so, and ladies of Vrindavan came, Krishna told them, "You go back." And when they become little popped up, Krishna disappeared also. That is one of the things uh, that that proves that Krishna was not attached to them for enjoyment. That is what is, he enjoy. Uh, Sorry, what was that word? This clarification is very, very important. Okay. Sorry, this one. Okay, he competent woman. So why he engaged? So that is explained. So just to set an example, he does this. He says in the next verse that यदि ही अहम न वर्तेयम जातु कर्मणि अंतर्हिता मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्य पाद सर्वस्व. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duty, or pass certainly on men follow my path. Then what he says in the next verse? Yes. उच्यद्यरि मे लोका न कुर्या कर्म चेदहम शंकरस्य च कर्तस्य प्रेम प्रजा. If I did not perform prescribed duty, all this world would be put to ruination. I would be the cause to create unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Then he says, Says सत्ता विद्वांस सत्ता कर्मणि अविद्वांसो यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांसता सत्ता शीघ्रश्लोके संग्रहम्. So as the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to result, the learned may similarly act but without attachment for the sake of leading people of the right path. So Lord Krishna was acting like human beings to set ideal example. So when you go to 10th canto, one day Narad Muni visited all his palace, how Lord Krishna daily activity is. The one place he went, he was sitting with his wife. One place he saw that Lord Krishna is sitting in the meditation. One place he saw that he's giving a charity to Brahmana. One place he saw that Krishna is performing yajna. One place he saw that he's marrying his son, getting married his son, and somewhere he's bidding farewell to his daughter after marriage. So all those things he saw. Why he did? To set an example. Okay. So here also, so Lord Krishna set an example of, although he got married with so many women, but he set an example that how the ideal husband should be. It's not that he was in one place one day and next place another day. If he does every day in one place, then how many days it takes? 16108 divided by 365. So after 44 years, Lord Krishna can be with one wife. So no wife will be happy, right? But he set an example that okay, you can marry with thousands of um, maybe a wife or husband, but will you be fulfill that desire every month? Or set that example. So we should not misunderstand this part. He says, Udama bhava prishna mala balbuhasa विद्यावलोका निहितो मदनो अपि यासां सम्मोह्य चापम अजहत प्रमोदो उत्तमास्ता यशेन्द्रिया विमर्शितु उग्रेण सेतु. So then he says, although the queen's beautiful smile and pretty glance were all spotless and exciting, although they could conquer Cupid himself, making him give up his bow in frustration. Now, although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feat and attraction, they could not agitate the sense of the Lord. So this पहले तो Goswami mentioned that how Lord Krishna enjoyed a woman with many women, competent women. And here he is glorifying Lord Krishna that although Queen's beautiful smile and pretty glance were spotless and exciting, although they are and their smile was such a that they can conquer Cupid himself. And Cupid also gave up the bow in the frustration. That much beautiful they were. That much beautiful their smile was. Although even the tolerant Shiva, Lord Shiva could also become fall a victim to them. Despite all their magical feat and attraction, they could not agitate the sense of the Lord. Lord was not agitated at all. So that is what is, mentioned. Please read these two purport, 1:11:35 and 36. So the Lord was not behind all those enjoyment. So, समय मन्यते लोको हि असंग अपि सर्विणाम आत्म उपज्ञेन मनुजाम व्याप्रुवान यतो बुध. The common materialistic conditioned souls speculate that Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that Lord is affected by matter, although is unattached. So, by seeing all those things, oh, Lord was also enjoying with the opposite sex and all. You may think Lord is also like one of them, but no, Lord was not like that. He says, "Etad isanam isaya प्रकृतिस्तु अपि तद्गुणे युच्यते सदात्मस्तेर यथा बुद्धिस्तद आश्रयः." This is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Although Lord was with so many beautiful women, but he was not affected by them. Okay? This is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He was not, he was Atma Trupta, Atma Kama. He doesn't require all those things. Okay, so he was not affected. He was beyond all those things. Similarly, the devotees who have taken the shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. What is that verse in Bhagavad Gita? Devi asi gunamayi mammaya dhrate mame prapadyante maya mitam karanti. 7:40. He says that divine energy of mind consisting of the four modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Lord is also beyond these three modes of material nature. And someone who takes the shelter of this personality, who is beyond the three modes of material nature, they can also go beyond the three modes of material nature. They can also be free from the influence of the three modes of material nature. That's what this verse says. Okay. That's why what is the conclusion? That if we want to free from all the miserable material world, then we have to take a shelter of the Lord. Very simple thing. Because Lord is beyond the modes of material nature, and if we take his shelter, then we can also be beyond, we can also transcend the mode of material nature. Okay? And we'll also not be influenced by mode of material nature. Then we can be free from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, and Matsarya. This is तन्मे नीरे अबला मूढ़ा श्रेणं चानुगतं हर अप्रमाणविद भरपूर ईश्वरं मतयो यथा. The simple and delicate woman truly thought that Lord Sri Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. Still, the Lord was not controlled by them, but Lord was acting in such a way that his wives were thinking that Lord is a puppet in their hand. Sometimes, I used to tell many times that sometimes person try to fool you, and you may become a fool willingly, not because that they want to make you fool, but you want to be fooled by them. So that means when you act that you have become fool, then they themselves have been fooled. Right? So here, someone were thinking that Lord is handpicked husband, he's very obedient, and all those things. Okay. Okay. So they were thinking like that because Lord was acting like a perfect husband. That's why they were feeling. And they were feeling that, Lord is good. And he was dominated by them. But they were unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband, as the atheists are unaware of him as the supreme controller. This is very, very important verse. Okay? So still, Lord has so many wives, but he was not in their control. Of course, he was acting like that, he is in their control, but he was not in their control. He was beyond all those things, material and material modes. He was not attracted by mundane sex desire. So that's what Sukh Goswami is telling. Okay. So that way we end the chapter number 10, 11. So tomorrow we'll start with chapter number, on Monday, with how the birth of Parikshit, Emperor Parikshit. Okay. So we'll continue from Monday. Tomorrow, no class. Till 20th January, I'll not be taking any class on Friday. Okay. If you have any question, comment, feedback, you can ask.